What's up, my loyal subscribers? And I'm back for a video that I haven't done. Oh, my phone vibrated. Uh, um, I completely threw off my train of thought, and that's not what you want. But as I was gonna say, I'm here for a video type of video that I haven't done for a really long time, which is a sports video, which is what I wanted to, start getting out more. But it's just been not in the mood lately. But not a big deal. Maybe I'll start doing some more. We'll see. But today is clearly the NBA trade deadline, and usually, keyword usually, that means we have a lot of stuff going on with contenders trying to add pieces to push them over the top and put them right where they need to be in prime playoff position, or the worst teams trying to dump off expiring contracts and bad contracts so next year they can add their own pieces and get rid of the ones that they don't want and that are hampering the franchise. But that didn't exactly, you know, happen this year. Really, it was a very weird day. There's so many rumors and not much happened. And I guess it just has to do with the upcoming free agent class and stuff like that. And so many teams are already over the luxury tax and that sort of thing. But I guess I'll just sort of go over what happened. So, I guess the biggest one that happened is JJ Redick getting dealt to Milwaukee from the Magic, and they also got Gustavo Ayon and Ish Smith. Never heard of Ish Smith. Gustavo Ayon's not terrible. I think he's decent. Oh, excuse me, but they gave up Duran Lamb, who I guess is a good prospect type of thing, but they didn't really need him since they have Jennings and Ellis, that two-headed monster in the backcourt. Yeah, but their backcourt's pretty filthy, and adding Redick to that is just really good because now they have fucking we got Jennings and Ellis starting. Then we got the what's that guy's name? Not Beno Udrih. Oh, what's that guy's name? They traded Beno Udrih to the Magic. If you didn't know, I forgot to mention that it was Duran Lamb, Beno Udrih, and Tobias Harris to the Magic for Redick and Ayon Smith. But damn it, I'm gonna have to look up the Milwaukee Bucks roster. I forget that guy's name. He's like a three-point specialist. It's not Carlos Delfino because they traded him to the Rockets this last off season. He's a three-point specialist. They call him he's like he's damn it. I can't think of his friggin' name. It's Mike Dunleavy, yeah. Or he's not even he's a guard forward combo, I guess. Or I was thinking of Ersan Ilyasova. That's what I was thinking of. But Ilyasova and what's his face there? I just said Ilyasova and Dunleavy both play guard once in a while too, and they're pretty good off the bench. So adding oh, sorry about that. Adding Redick to that already filled up backcourt with so many threats is, I mean, it's good for Milwaukee in the short term, I guess, but they're not really pressed to make a big playoff run, so I didn't really understand the deal. I thought it would be more beneficial for them for the future and right now if they went out and got Josh Smith like everybody thought they were going to do, but instead they went out and got Redick because I guess Atlanta pulled out at the last second. I guess they had a three-wheel. Yep, that's the word I meant to use. They had a three-way deal between the Hawks, the Bucks, and the Magic, and the Bucks were gonna get Josh Smith, and that's really all they knew before the deal fell apart at 259. But yeah, so they were gonna go through with that deal, but that fell through, and it said Atlanta pulled out, so I guess there wasn't really anything the Bucks could do about it unless they give up Larry Sanders. But he's one of their centerpieces of the future. They can't get rid of him with that. If they with Larry Sanders and that dual threat in the backcourt, you can't get rid of that combo, or you're not going to be able to contend at all. So can't really give up that. But yeah, that was the big head scratcher of the whole trade deadline, was the whole Josh Smith debacle, because everyone thought he was going to get traded. We didn't know exactly where, but we had the list of Brooklyn, Boston, Milwaukee, possibly Houston, and there was one other one I think, but they had that, and they were like, yeah, we're expecting to trade him before the deadline, so get ready for that. But then, early this morning, it got cut down to, oh, there's probably a 50-50 shot we're going to trade him. And then, maybe an hour before the deadline, they're like, oh, it's looking like we're going to hold on to him. But I can't really say I agree with the Hawks on that move because, you have this guy. He hasn't really been a locker room problem, but he's been vocal about how he's displeased with the team's direction and stuff like that. And that's never a guy you want on your team. And he says, this is the last year of his contract. He says, I don't want to play in Atlanta. Well, he doesn't say I don't want to play in Atlanta, but he's basically saying that. He's saying, once my contract's over, I'm out. So why not trade him now and you get something? Instead, you just, play. I mean, I guess you could make the case that Atlanta's contending, but they're not. Atlanta's pretenders. Atlanta's been pretenders, and they're always going to be pretenders. When they had Joe Johnson, Al Horford, Josh Smith, oh, big three. No, they never did anything. Every year, fifth or sixth seed, losing first round. It was systematic how they would do this over and over and over. And then, Joe Johnson left, and they got a couple pieces back, and they're saying the same thing. Oh, now we can contend. Joe Johnson was a ball hog. Now we can get the ball to our bigs and Smith and Horford. No, you're still not going to be able to contend. You're going to get the fifth or sixth seed every year and lose in the first round. The formula you have is not working. So just getting rid of one piece of it isn't going to solve the problem. You're going to need to get rid of a lot of pieces, and they could have done that with Smith and started rebuilding, but they decided not to, and they're holding on to him for what, few more months. They're going to lose in the first round. I think they're sixth seed, fifth seed right now. Exactly what they've been the past 5 years, but he's going to leave, and they're going to be left with nothing. They're going to be left with Horford and a bunch of scrubs, and then watch Horford, next year or two show his displeasure, and then he's going to want to be traded. Then what do you got? You got nothing. And you could have gotten things back in return for Josh Smith. You could, if you trade him to the Bucks were looking maybe to give them John Henson, who's, a promising big man. You got a piece. You got a piece there, and now instead of having pieces, you have nothing. And that's really where they really just, I don't know. I really don't know what their management was thinking, because they're done now. They're out. And then that was pretty much the big deal of the whole trading deadline thing, was that whole debacle. And then, there were always the rumors of, oh, Dwight Howard maybe leaving or maybe looking to get traded, but that was just talk. That was never going to happen. Even though he's a free agent at the end of the year, the Lakers are in too much of a bad position right now to get rid of like their second best player, especially with Gasol injured. And, you can't just get rid of Howard like that. So I never really saw that happening. And I guess another big surprise of the whole trading deadline weekend was the whole Thomas Robinson thing. And this is literally vintage Sacramento Kings right here. Just doing some idiotic, stupid move that no other team in the entire NBA would make. They're just the epitome of being so stupid. That you have this kid for what? They've had him for 4 months. You draft him in the top 5 of the draft. You can't just give up on someone that fast. You got to give him time to develop, and it's not like he has any compliments out there with him. He's playing with friggin' who's starting at 4? He wasn't starting at 4, but he's playing with Thompson and friggin' I don't even know who, the Garcia dude. He's playing with guys like that, and he's not gonna. They're gonna put pressure on him and not on these other guys. So he's not really getting a chance to go out there and show what he has with a team as poor as the Kings. I mean, I guess you could make the case that DeMarcus Cousins is out there with him, but that's beside the point. But they just gave up on him so quickly and for nothing. They got nothing in return. They got this Aldrich dude who's played less minutes in 4 years than Robinson has this season, which shows you how much he's gonna help out the Kings. You get Tony Douglas, who's one of the worst point guards in the league. He gets shipped off as like an extra piece in a trade like every year because he's just money to fill out these trades and stuff. He's a terrible point guard, and they get Patrick Patterson. I mean, he's not a bad player by any means, but he's not going to help you in the long run more than Thomas Robinson had the chance to. I mean, maybe this Patterson could help you out more in the long run, I guess, than Thomas Robinson could, but now you never know. If, imagine next year Robinson breaks out into this, 19.88 rebound type of player, then the Kings are looking themselves in the face saying, "Wow, what a stupid trade we made, and all just because of money." And that's the idiocy of the trade. They really need to just blow that place up. They should have traded. No, they shouldn't have traded Tyreek and DeMarcus Cousins because they got nothing else. So I mean, I guess they have to hold on to some piece. I'm saying peace a lot during this, if you didn't notice. But what else happened here? I guess one of the bigger deals was Jordan Crawford coming to my Boston Celtics. That was a pretty good trade by Danny Ainge. I mean, I know the Wizards were just trying to get the salary dump, but you get rid of Barbosa, who's injured. He's done for the year, and his contract's up at the end of the year. So you basically just, he's done, like he's gone. You're getting rid of nothing, and then you're trading Jason Collins, who's like literally the worst player on the team, and you're getting back, a pretty consistent scorer in Jordan Crawford. I'm assuming he's gonna come off the bench, but I'm reading this thing right now. It says he led the Wizards 17 times in score, and he's led the Wizards in 17 games in scoring this season, which is pretty good. I mean, the Wizards obviously are a pretty bad team, but that's still a good stat. And there's the really interesting stat that I pulled up that I saw earlier today that just blew my mind. And it is Jordan Crawford is one of 7 players in the entire NBA averaging 18 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds per 36 minutes. You want to know who those other 6 players are? Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Manu Ginobili. That is some elite company you got there. 6 of the best players in the entire NBA, and Jordan Crawford's matching up with them per 36 minutes. Granted, he's obviously not going to play the 36 minutes a game, but that doesn't matter because you're getting that production as if he was playing 36 minutes a game. Well, that's not true. I don't know why I said that, but if he were to play these 36 minutes, he would be as productive as some of the best players in the league. So you're getting top tier talent in this small window every game, which is clearly something the Celtics need because we haven't been struggling to score per se, but an extra score definitely will give us a boost that we need. And actually, I completely forgot about that whole thing, the Garnett and Pierce thing, where up to the deadline, there's so much talk about that, and Pierce not so much. I mean, there's a little bit at the beginning of the year about how the Grizzlies were interested in Pierce, and then that cooled down. But then yesterday, there's stuff heating up about Brooklyn trying to trade for Pierce, but they definitely didn't have the pieces. They had the package they offered was Chris Humphries, who's don't get me started on Chris Humphries. He's soft as baby shit. I hate that dude. I mean, he's a decent player, but not someone I want at all. Marshawn Brooks, who I love. Marshawn Brooks, we originally drafted him actually, and he was great last year for the Nets, but he hasn't been playing as much lately this year because of the addition of Joe Johnson, so that kind of took away from his playing time, so he's not developing as much as the Nets would like because he's not getting the playing time, but he's definitely a good player, and they're offering, I think, a first-round pick, which the Nets have like the third or fourth seed in the conference this year, so that wouldn't have been a very high pick, so definitely not worth the value of trading Paul Pierce, and then all the Clipper talk with Kevin Garnett cooled down definitely a lot, and nothing ended up happening, as you guys definitely saw. Then we just have some bunch of smaller deals. The Heat send Dexter Pittman to the Grizzlies for a trade exception. No big deal. Bobcats traded Hakeem Warwick to the Magic for Josh McRoberts. Two bad teams just swapping big men, no biggie. And Eric Maynor got traded to the Blazers. That was a pretty cool deal for the Blazers, I guess. I mean, it doesn't really help their position this year, but you get a nice veteran point guard behind Damian Lillard to kind of, even though Damian Lillard doesn't really need any help because he's already, pretty much cemented Rookie of the Year and he's playing like a, 10-year veteran in the NBA, but definitely having Eric Maynor behind him will definitely help out his development, and, Maynor can definitely show him some stuff that a seasoned veteran could help a rookie out with, and things like that. So I think that about sums up most of the trades, if I do say so. Oh, and the Hawks traded Anthony Morrow, who's like a three-point specialist, to the Mavericks for Dante Jones, who's a defensive-oriented forward. So another move that's not very, you know, sexy or anything like that. Is pretty much the theme of the 2013 NBA trade deadline is unsexy deals. I mean, the sexiest deal was JJ Redick to the Bucks. That pretty much sums up how you should feel about this trading deadline. I mean, don't get me wrong, Redick's a good player and all, but yeah, that's about that. The next one after that is probably toss up between Thomas Robinson and Jordan Crawford. Yeah, personally, as a Celtics fan, I'm excited about the Crawford trade because he's definitely going to help out this year. I mean, as much as it pains me in my heart, it makes my heart stop. As much as it pains me, the Celtics have virtually no chance at a title this year. But Crawford will definitely help out. Provide some offense and stuff like that, and maybe we can hold on to him for next year and continue that instead of focusing on older guys like Terry at the two and stuff like that. So it's just something to look out for and a piece we could hopefully hold on to. I should put like a counter in like the corner of the video. This is how many times I've said piece. I must have said that at least 20 times, but I guess this concludes my thoughts on the 2013 NBA trade deadline. So I'd love to hear your guys' comments, concerns, and stuff like that about your own teams. I'm a Celtics fan, so I love to see the outside, what people outside of Boston think about what's going on and stuff like that. What people think about KG, and Pierce not getting traded, and what's going on with your own team. If you're a Kings fan, I'd love to hear your input on the head scratcher of Thomas Robinson to the Rockets. I'd love to hear a Kings view of that. So definitely leave your comments down below. I'll respond to most of them, and if there are any, I'll definitely respond to all of them, and hopefully we can have a nice discussion going. And yeah, I guess that about sums it up. So I guess we get to look forward to the next draft class, not draft class, the next free agent class, which is going to be a good one. So get your popcorn ready, folks. Alrighty, guys. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and like I just said, leave your comments down below on thoughts. And I will see you guys next time. Deuces.